Hey Sagittarius, it's your honest homegirl ᴇᴏᴜᴜ, and this is your timeless reading. So whenever you see this reading, it's for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you guys like daily horoscopes, you can check me out on TikTok at the honest homegirl. And I also do honest talk and tarot sessions on my Instagram page once a week, where we just talk about a lot of tough stuff. And you can follow me there at the honest homegirl. Now, your intuitive message before I get into your reading, Sagittarius, a lot of you guys are going through, like, the theme right now for everyone, honestly, the collective, is death and rebirth during a Mercury retrograde and eclipse season. And I really feel like this one is going to be a heavy hitter for a lot of us, because it's about that time. Okay, it's about that time to just let shit go. Okay, excuse my French. It's time. All the procrastinating, all the things that needed to get done has to get done now. 111 on the phone. Now, some of you guys are thinking about moving, okay, relocating somewhere else. For some of you, you're changing jobs. For others of you, this is you dealing with a Cancer and moving forward with a Cancer for some of you, or they have Cancer placement somewhere in their chart. A lot of you guys are definitely, with the death and a rebirth phase for you guys, it has a lot to do with purifying yourself, healing yourself, realizing all the things from your childhood and your adolescent years that have affected you in your young adulthood years now, if you're, in your early 20s, and if you're in your early 30s and stuff like that. You're realizing all the things that contributed to who you are as an individual. And if it's something that is not, productive, or something that is beneficial to you, you're leaving it behind. Okay, you're definitely learning how to balance out your masculine and feminine energies, both my male and female Sagittarius. Spirit wants me to show you this. So for some of you that don't know what this is Florida water. And you can make your own, because you can also go on YouTube and see how people take rainwater and herbs and stuff and make their own Florida water. But I like this one because I like the smell of it. But it's a spiritual tool. You don't have to always have it. You could literally just get water, because I'm a hoodoo practitioner. So I do things based off of my instinct, based off of my guidance from God and my ancestors and spirit guides and nature. And you could literally just take rainwater and pray over it, and that could be your cleansing water. Okay, like, you don't have to go crazy, and you don't have to this is just being fancy. Okay, you don't have to have this, but if you want it, you can get it. I get mine at my local Walmart. That's why I love my local Walmart so much, because I could find Florida water for $2 in there. Or you could go to the botanicas if you're, in New York. Okay, my New York people, you can go to the botanica. There's one probably on every block somewhere, and you could get it. But it's a spiritual tool just to cleanse things in the house. You can cleanse your crystals with it. You can cleanse your floors with it. You could get a mop bucket, and after you clean all the dirt off the floor, then you'll take another bucket of clean water, and you'll put a couple of splashes or drops of this in it, and then you can mop the floor out to cleanse the house or wipe down things, and it cleanses the energy. Okay, that's basically what it is. So for those that needed something like that, something really simple, you can do that. Or you can go the natural route, get some rainwater, clean it out, filter it, pray over it. I would say pray over it for 3 nights. I like the power of 3, 6, and 9. So you could do it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, the strongest. And you pray over it. You could put whatever herbs you want to put in it, or whatever the case may be, like rose petals, rosemary, any protection herbs, okay, lavender, whatever you want to put in it, you can put in it. It's yours, okay? And as long as you pray over it, you can even recite some psalms, verses over that water, and that could be a cleaner water. I just feel like for some of me, just saying that just made me really feel like somebody's trying to really cleanse themselves of something. I don't know what you guys did, but I feel like you're really trying to cleanse yourselves, or maybe you got caught up with somebody and this person may have put roots on you. Now that is a whole nother ordeal. Okay, you're gonna have to have certain herbs for that. Okay, so you would have to seek consultation from someone, and they'll probably do a reading for you, whoever you choose, you know, and see what's really going on with you, because sometimes people confuse themselves with getting hexed by somebody, and you're really hexing yourself because of your thinking, because of the way you're moving and things like that. If you're not moving in integrity, then of course, you know, karma's gonna spin the block for you. You know, you got to think about that stuff too. You got to take that into consideration, because you can't just always think that somebody's doing something to you. A lot of the times it's you doing something to yourself. I don't know where this conversation came from, but okay. So for the rest of my Sagittarius, Thursday is always your lucky day, along with Pisces. So if you're trying to get something done, or if you want things to work in your favor, you're ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter's day is Thursday. So if you want to do something, get it done on a Thursday. And excuse the voices in the background. That's a Sagittarius right now talking. That's my favorite auntie right there. I love her to death. She's a go-getter, okay? And for those that haven't been going out there and getting it like you normally do, it's time for you to pick up the pace. It's time for you to let go of, you know, that stagnant energy, and it's time to get back into it, okay, Saggies? Now you're up, and the thing is, I feel like you guys are getting out of that energy come Gemini season, because that is your opposite sign, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it, but come Gemini season, I feel like you'll get the energy to get back up again and do what it is that you need to do. Or some of you even moving in the months of Gemini season, okay? I think that's the end of May, beginning of June. But let's get into your reading. I did enough of a rant for you guys, okay? Did it more than a rant. Divine Spirit, what's going on with my Sagittarius? One thing's for sure, one thing's for certain. One thing I love about my aunt is this lady could hang out all night, but she is getting up in the morning, okay? Corporate office hours, so you know she's getting up at 5:30 in the morning and getting the job done, okay? How she stays up that late all day without a nap, she's superwoman, okay? Yeah, so a lot of you guys, so this card came out on the side. So a lot of you guys are dealing with a lot of toxicity, a lot of negative thinking, a lot of overeating, all the things you know you ain't supposed to be doing. That's what you're doing right now. For some of you, you are on the fence. It's like you're at a crossroad. Do I go left or do I go right? Do I do the BS or do I not? Do I listen to my lower self or my higher self? And then for others of you, you're done. You no longer want this. This is out of your life. You're like, no more. So it's like a lot of you guys, depending on where you are on your spiritual journey, that's what you're dealing with. But you got to remember too, if you're dibbling and dabbling with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, all those things have energy. All those things have a spirit. And depending on if it's something low vibrational, it's attached to you. You attached yourself to it. It's like having a little monkey on your back telling you what to do, and you got to fight it. Only way you can sit there and fight that is by wanting more for yourself. You have to, and it's a fight every day, getting up. That you want better for yourself. You want more for yourself. You don't want to deal with the things that come along with the stresses of the lifestyle that you're living, you know? Your abundance. You feel like your abundance is dwindling. Your luck is dwindling. Some of you feel like ever since you had this little girl, things have been downhill for you. You haven't been able to accomplish anything. You haven't been able to set goals for yourself like you normally would. Some of you may even have to deal with authority in some way with the police, with the justice system, and things are not going in your favor. For some of you, yeah, I feel like, but you have mental and emotional healing at the bottom of the deck, 1010 on the phone. If this is happening to you and you feel like your luck is gone, you feel like things are not going in your favor, with the mental and emotional healing part right here at the bottom of the deck, this has a lot to do with you. I'm going to tell you another trick too. If you don't believe in it, it ain't going to affect you. And I'm going to just leave it at that. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to affect you. When you start believing in stuff, that's when things affect you. I would just tell you guys to stay prayed up and believe in something. Don't believe in nothing. Because now you're not shielded by anything. It doesn't matter what you believe in. You have to believe in something. Even if it's you believing in yourself. I don't know why I'm hearing atheist. Some of you turned atheist or you've always been that, but you need to believe in yourself at least, okay? You need to believe in something. I'm not here to knock people on their beliefs, okay? I feel like a lot of you guys may even be questioning your beliefs at this time. Your belief system may be changing at this time. You may be going from being spiritual to being more religious, or being religious and being more spiritual. Like, I feel like there's a shift, and that's okay too. You don't have to feel bad about that, because you got to go through certain things to get to where you need to be. And God will put you in the worst situations. God will sit there and have you deal with certain people, and you wonder why, and it's because there was a lesson that you needed to learn about yourself. Because every person you encounter, young or old, same age as you, they are a reflection of you somehow, some way. There's some type of commonality, if that's even a word, that is going on with you. My father used to always tell me birds of a feather flock together, and it never made sense to me until I got older. Because it's true. There's something that you guys have in common, or you guys wouldn't be hanging out with each other. There's something that you're attracted to, something that you're curious about, something, or you wouldn't be dealing with these people. But I do feel for a lot of you guys, your luck may be gone, because there's some healing that needs to occur. Whether it's physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing, financial healing, there's something that you need to really focus on right now. And some of you may not like this, but I'm going to tell you, every child ain't no blessing. People always want to say children are blessings. Yeah, some of them are. Not all of them. Because you got people that schemed and scammed their way into getting pregnant. That ain't no child of no blessing. So if you sat there and did something to get somebody, if you manipulated the situation to get pregnant, well, guess what? That's your karma. Because that person may not stay with you throughout your pregnancy. That person might leave you behind and have you being a single parent. Guess what? That's your karma. And how that child turns out, because 9 times out of 10, when you got a child and birthing a child into this world and it don't have both parents, and the kid goes through abandonment issues, you're going to have a troubled child. You're going to have a troubled child. You could be the best parent in the world. It doesn't matter. That kid is going to, especially when, even just with me losing my mom at an early age, I was a troubled child. I was a troubled child. Why? Because my mom was gone. There was something, a part of me that was missing. I was a troubled child. I was angry inside. For some of you, this was you, and then you repeated the cycle and had kids the same way as maybe your parents did or something like that. Or let's just say that wasn't the case. Sometimes things happen because you did things in a past life. We got to remember that too. But I feel like for some of you, you really think that this child of yours is... Well, listen, just being a parent alone, Saggies, kid is going to be in your pocket for the rest of your life. You may not like it, but a child, you decide to have a child, okay, that kid going to be in your pocket for the rest of your life. So that's just something that you're going to have to deal with. They'll be 30 years old and you're a senior citizen trying to relax, and they still going to be like, Mom, Dad, can you help me? Okay? That's just it. I'm sorry you feel this way. For some of you, you may even be going through postpartum depression. I mean, that's the word that they use for it. My ancestors didn't know what that was. They didn't put labels on themselves. What they did was they got up and did what they had to do and show up for themselves and for their families every day. Okay? The thing is, you need to work through your emotions. Really find out why you feel the way that you feel. Is it because the father is giving your daughter more attention than you now? Well, that's something that you were supposed to understand before you had a child. That's just like if you had a son. You're going to be giving your son more attention than your husband or your partner or your spouse or whatever. You get what I'm saying? It works both ways. It just happens that, but you have to communicate with your partner if that's something that is bothering you. And then we have a cardinal bird popping up in your reading, Saggies. There's a loved one around. Okay, they're around. They're watching over you. They're protecting you and your family. You may just be going through a tough time right now. For some of you, it could be because of your body and how your body looks after having a baby that has you upset and depressed. But guess what? You got to show up for yourself and you got to do something about it. Get you some shea butter, okay? Rub that on your stretch marks and stuff every day, okay? If that means you need to sit there and do some type of light, workout every day, do it. You got to show up for yourself. The only way you're going to get yourself out of this rut is if you show up for yourself every day. I don't know why Spirit don't have me pulling cards for you, but just having me talk to you guys. But you gotta, you're doing a lot of wondering and not a lot of action. Okay, that's for some of you Sagittarius. Instead of wondering, go out and actually do it to see what results you'll get. Yeah, some of you guys could be dealing with a teenage boy, or you're dealing with a male that's just very immature. You could have sat there and had a child with somebody. You had a child with a child, basically, because their mentality is immature. And the situation is not the healthiest for some of you. This could be your son and your daughter. It's like, my daughter needs something. My baby girl needs this. My older son needs this. This one needs that. That one needs that. And it's stressing you out. You have to ground yourself, okay? You have to go have a conversation with God outside, barefoot. I'm visualizing somebody going outside, walking in the grass, sitting in the grass, laying in the grass, or just walking around in the grass, because some of y'all can't stay still. So just go walk around in the grass in the backyard or the front yard or at a park, and just walk around barefoot and have a conversation with God. You'll get the downloads that you need to do what it is that you need to do so that you can move forward. But you have to change your mindset, and then you have to show up in order to get yourself out of this feeling. Now, for a lot of you, you may realize that some of your toxic behaviors, or just behaviors that you're not using in moderation, okay? Because even good things could be bad for us, right? You're realizing like some of the things that you're doing, whether it's overspending, it's causing you not to have enough for your kids when they need something, and you're getting rid of that. Like I said, some of you, depending on where you are on your spiritual journey, some of you are at the bottom right now where you feel like everything you have no luck. Then for others of you, you're like on the fence where it's like some days are good, some days are bad. And then for others of you, you completely eradicated these things, like you're actively putting in the work so that you don't have to feel like your luck is gone. It's like you're making it your business to get your luck back. Okay? Because even with these cards being in the reverse and stuff, Spirit wants you to have a positive mindset. Spirit wants you, if you are thinking negatively about your baby girl and how she came about, or why you got to spend so much, or why the father is giving her more attention than you have to start speaking life into this baby girl. Okay? You have to speak life into her. That's the only way things can change. You have to speak life into yourself, speak life into your kids. When it comes to your finances, I do see a renewal. I see things being replenished for you. But you have to change your mindset. You got to show up for yourself. There also may be an Aquarius that could help you figure out, like, one thing about air signs, we're problem solvers only because we think so much. And fire signs and air signs kind of complement each other when they're all on a higher frequency. But when we're on low frequencies, it's an explosion, right? Air, fire, not a good thing, right? But on the good note, there is potential for growth, okay? But you have to push that reset button for yourself. Some of you may even have an idea on what's going on with your son, okay? Your teenage son. Or you have like a tween or something, all right? They may be going through changes right now, okay? And that's why they're stressing you out. That's why some of them are crying out for help, okay? Or this son of yours that's just immature, or you feel is immature, you have them on your mind a lot because you're always wondering and worrying. And the thing is, I'm seeing that that's not healthy for you. That's putting more stress on you, worrying about somebody. If this person is an adult and they just act like a child, I'm sorry to say it, but you cannot save them from their karma. There are lessons, hard lessons that this person is going to have to learn on their own without you. You cannot save them from their karma. And the thing is, a lot of parents try to do that for their children, but you can't. All you can do is guide them. All you can do is give them valuable messages and lessons and stuff like that, and share your experiences and the mistakes that you made in life, and just hope and pray that they take heed to it. But if they don't take heed to it, then that wasn't in God's plan on how to teach them how to grow, how to mature. So it's like God wants you to stop worrying about that. It sounds kind of harsh because you're a parent, but sometimes you gotta let them learn on their own. You can't save them from their karma. See, this mental emotional healing has been at the bottom of my deck and just showing up every time because you have to focus on you. You are no good to your kids, your grandkids, your family if you are not good. You have too much on your mind. You be wondering what it'd be like to not have any stress in your life. Start eliminating that stress. And then you won't have to wonder. You'll experience it. Some of you need to have that conversation with God and ask God to give you the strength to walk away from things that just ain't for you anymore. Because you're going through it. This Mercury retrograde, this eclipse season is going to show you. Because if not, you'll be in this forever cycle of having to heal, wanting to heal. I'll heal a little bit and then I don't, and then I go back. It's like you go on this hamster wheel, back and forth on the hamster wheel, back and forth, back and forth. It's like a forever thing. It doesn't have to be forever. You just have to sit there and have more discipline and balancing out what is right for you, what is wrong for you. You working on your belief system, you working on your personal growth, and utilizing your intelligence. You guys, one thing about Sagittarius, I love about Sagittarius, and for some of you, you may have a little boy. It may not be a little girl. And then you have a girl that's a teenager. However, the roles could be reversed. However it goes for you. But one thing I can say about you, Sagittarius, I have learned some of the most valuable lessons from Sagittarius. Okay? I love listening to Sagittarius speak because their intelligence is beyond books sometimes, and they don't realize how smart they are and how they can literally get themselves out of anything if they just stay focused, if they just change their thinking, if they just start showing up for themselves and stop wondering if it's going to work and just do it. Just do it. Make the wish and just go for it. Okay? Say I'm going to change and just change. There's no in between. You can't ride the fence. You got to pick a side. You have to pick a side. I think I did a reading for, was it Cancer or somebody? If you got Cancer placements, check out that Cancer reading. Because I think I titled it, Pick a Side. Because there's good things coming to you if you just change how you think. You literally will get the answer out of thin air. Sagittarius, you and Pisces are some of the luckiest signs, and I think Sagittarius is more lucky than any sign ever. Okay, I've watched with my own eyes Sagittarius get out of things that they should have never got out of. Like, you were doomed, bruh, and got out of that. Like, utilize that personal growth that you've already made for yourself. Utilize your intellect, okay, Sagittarius, to get yourself out of this. You're smarter than this. Do not allow small little things that have happened in your life affect the rest of your life. Your past is not going to mess up your future. Your past was stepping stones. Your past was a learning experience, okay? You had to obtain some knowledge, and you might have had to go through some BS to get that knowledge and obtain that knowledge, but that doesn't define who you are. We've all dated the wrong people. We've all done some things that we don't want people to find out about. We've all been there, done that. We've all embraced this toxic energy and played on the devil's playground because it was fun and exciting. We all did it. But it comes a point when you sit there, you change your thinking to positive thinking that's going to benefit you. When you decide to sit there and go within and say, you know what, it's time for me to do things differently. I am a star. I am healing, okay? And giving yourself grace as you do it, because then as you do that, as you start actively showing up for yourself, your thought process change. And when your thought process change, you'll get into the hamster wheel of forever happiness, forever joy, forever abundance. Just like you could be on the hamster wheel for some negative stuff, right? You could be on the hamster wheel like this and forever deal with this type of energy, or you can start changing your thinking and do a lot of mental and emotional healing and shadow work, and you'll be on the hamster wheel of newness, renewal, your money replenishing, good things happening to you, the sun coming back out, okay? But you have to show up for yourself, because nobody else is going to show up for you, okay? Nobody else is going to show up for you. You have to show up for you. But let's get some homegirl advice for you guys. Pay attention to the signs. You've been shown a lot of things. You're smarter than that to ignore those signs. We have let that shit go. What'd I say? There's a lot of things that you have to be aware of that are right in front of your face that you have to learn to let go. You cannot sit here and be held back anymore. Because this time around right now, I really feel like the decisions that we make, we will be dealing with them for either the rest of our lives or for a very long time. And we also have let it flow to you. So let things flow to you. Don't get in the energy of, I gotta go get it. This goes for my masculines too. You have to have balance. Yeah, you know you got to be a protector and a provider. And yes, we know you got to go out there and work. But you can also attract it to yourself. You can go out and work but not have to work and bust your behind. Okay? And get to know you. Okay, it's time that you go within. It's time for you to get to know yourself, and it's time to think big. Okay, because you've been thinking on a small scale. You're larger than life. Know that. Let's get a positive affirmation for my Sagittarius. It says, follow your heart. I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way. Remember how I told you, you're going to go through some things that you may not like, but it's going to get you to where you need to be. And you have to remember, when you're following your heart, make sure you're grounded. Don't sit there and be thinking you're following your heart and you're all over the place, because that's your ego talking. Make sure you're in a good space when you're following your heart, because sometimes your heart will lead you in the wrong direction. Because I got to say that, because some of you guys are not on a higher frequency to follow your heart. And then we have communication. Wonder how that other person's feeling? Ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling? Tell them. You've just been drafted into the communication army, where there is a strict do ask, do tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding. If you don't, assumption will just make asses of everyone, including the person who came up with that aphorism. You know I'm about to sit there and Google this stuff, because I do not like pronouncing things wrong, guys. Hold on a second. I have gotten in the habit of doing that when I come across words that I've never used before. I feel like my grandma has me in school all over again, because I went to grandma school. Okay, I didn't go to daycare. I went to grandma school, and if I didn't know something, she made me sit there and Google it. Not Google it, because I didn't have Google back then, but my Google was Webster's dictionary. Okay. Let's see. Aphorism. Okay. Aphorism. Hold on. An observation that contains a general truth. Okay, it's an observation that contains a general truth. Aphorism. Okay, so we learned a new word today. Thank you, Saggies, for the energy of learning something. See, didn't I tell you guys? You guys always teaching me something. I need for you guys also to be spontaneous. Okay, do something different out of your norm. Go do something that you never did before. Okay, something that's high vibrational, not something crazy. Okay, because we're elevating here. But I love you guys. Mwah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time.